This is Cleveland Outdoors, and today we're going to be making arrows. We're going to be making these, my arrows, my version. Two, take your knife, big knife, small knife, tomahawk, axe, or rock. If you want to go completely primitive. People say, rocks won't work good. Well, rocks work pretty good. I've used rocks before, but the 90-degree angle on the back of my homemade knife works pretty good too. Oh, you can try to start straightening them, straightening them, or whatever. And that's how I normally do. You bend it, you hold it for a while, stop. It straightens it out. You gotta do this a lot, and then you keep in mind to keep them around the same width too. Like we're gonna do some scraping later to that. It's simple. They tried. So yeah, you want them to be just about the same length. Now we're gonna rope the arrows together. Pain in the ass. You're a pain in the ass. Till then, yeah, you wrap these up and let them season for a couple days, weeks, months, or years. If you want to wait that long, which I won't, I'll probably let them season 2 or 3 days. After arrows are seasoned, you can unwrap them and keep your cord for future projects like I did. I didn't cut that paracord because your rock or knife, found my little knife, so I'm just gonna scrape them all down to equal lengths. It's that simple. You know? We're gonna sand down the knobs and everything in a little bit, and the little knife marks, crap. But now we want to try to straighten them all out back to what they were, because they might have warped or whatever. After screwing around with that for a little while, now it's time to get rid of those stupid knobs. You want these nice and flush, because if you shoot knuckles like I do, give you a nice cut or throw your arrow off, and have fun shooting multiple arrows with a nice cut in your hand. So you just kind of, I normally like to use a rock, use a hacksaw, you could use a rock or whatever. So I'm just going to cut it. It's all about preference, how deep and everything. I'll cut it whatever deep. That's about as deep as I like to cut it. And now we're going to take our file, and we're going to open up the end a little bit. Open up this end a little bit. Take the file. This is a half-round metal double mill bastard file, or bass, or whatever. No, it's bastard. And just open that a little bit. And now we're going to file it to almost a point, and without trying to screw up like I just kind of did. Because this is made for metal, not for wood. Rocks work real good. That's what I normally use. Of the spine of the arrow, the feather. You just put your knife in that. And some people like to just flick the knife out, and that cuts up the spine sometimes. I'm going to show you what happens with me. Screwed up. It doesn't always work. Alright, I've drilled the holes, the foreshaft holes, without you guys. It was nighttime, I was tired. See, this is going to be like 5 minutes for you. It's going to be like 2 or 3 days for me. So I drilled those already. I just use an auger bit. You can use anything. You can use a piece of flint drill. There's other videos that teach you how to do all that crap. But since we're wasting time, probably end up cutting this out of the video anyway. This is how I put my fletchings on. Now this is the most important part besides your arrow. Now let's choose which one you like best. I like this one better. Since I only have 5 sets of fletchings, where this is going to be a 3 fletched arrow. So what I do, I don't like to use measurements. I like to use finger measurements. So that's my finger, the tip of my finger is 1 inch. Just about exactly. So 1 inch from the top of my nock is right here. Mark that with my finger. Take a Q-tip or whatever, or glue. You can use super glue. I'm using Titebond 3, I think. Some sort of hide glue like. You don't want to get over crazy with this because it'll cut your hand apart when you're shooting your arrow. So I like to put that right there just to ensure my fletchings. And then you're going to leave this for like a couple hours after you that. So there's a couple ways I do this. They always, you're going to screw up, you're going to win, you're going to fail, whatever. Take my sinew or string, the sinew, which is animal tendon. This came from a cow that died. One of our cows that died. Wrap once. That way you don't have to worry about this arrow. Oh yeah, and make sure it lines up with where you want on the nock. Which they're going to spiral anyway, so it doesn't matter. Equal distances. Equal distances. And then you just wrap all the way. This is the most important part of your arrow is the fletching. Because if one of these guys are in a different direction, your arrow is never going to hit what you want it to. I can't guarantee that, because you might have different experiences than I do. So they're all evenly spaced. I do the front before I do the back for obvious reasons I'm going to show you. This is already 2 minutes long. So, your Q-tip, piece of wood, whatnot, and you get the fletching. Oh, see, I have problems.
Melissa, I got kitty litter. I got cat litter. Change this litter box.
There's really no right or wrong way of doing this. This is just how I make my arrows, and it works really good for me. I've been taking these arrows on hunts. I haven't killed anything but chipmunks because there wasn't any deer in the woods this year. So then after you take that and you wrap it around all the bottom fletchings, you do a nice, pretty spiral twist all the way up to the top and around the nock.
Garbage cans in the garage downstairs. You can bang it right out in there.
Yes, I'm filming this.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. Now we're gonna string it. evenly space them because sometimes it didn't in the process. And you let that dry after this.
Let us over there by the door.
Which isn't looking right. Oh, too close, buddy. And there you go. There your fletched arrow, and then you trim it after the glue dries and make sure that is all down. So this is another one.